Oftentimes on my channel, not too often, I'll say that I'm gonna do a video that I guess you can say is considered a throwaway video. And by that I mean it's one of them things where I could have easily not talked about it, but because I had time and probably out of pure boredom, I found something on I guess you could say a more deeper level to discuss the topic at length anyway. But it's also one of them things where I could have said, it's something else I could have talked about. But when I saw this earlier today, and I'm recording this on April 4th, 2025, I said, okay, I think I see where I can go with this. And I kid you not, right before I press record, I found another angle at which I could talk about this, which I'm gonna probably reveal at the end of the commentary. So this popped up on my timeline. Again, it's one of them things where because Elon turned Twitter into what it is, people that you don't follow or don't even vibe with or have anything in common with pops up on your timeline. And this person right here, who I've never heard of before, popped up on my timeline. And her name is Rachel Wilson. Again, had no clue who this woman was until today. But what she posted is what made me want to actually say something. So she reposted this video. It's just a screenshot though of an account called Alpha Fox, and it said, "What is she?" So basically, in the video, is this white woman, and she's basically asking about her body size, like asking, is she thick or not, or is she fat, or whatever the case may be. So Rachel took it upon herself to repost the video and leave the caption that says, "Will the black guys stop telling these chicks they aren't they aren't fat, please?" And I'm sitting here saying to myself, why did Rachel Wilson feel the need to drag black men into her, I guess, her little mini tirade about this random white woman who's asking people what her size is? And then I'm sitting here saying to myself, why is she even inserting herself into just black people's affairs anyway? And the fact that she even mentioned black guys, and this is coming from a white woman asking that question, definitely made me feel some type of way, because I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to incite something right there, because she's probably listened to some of these divestors or whatever the case may be, some of these black women that have a staunch anti-black man stance about them anyway. So she says, what can I do to trigger them even more, or just trigger the black community or black women? Oh, let me just repost this video where, mind you, this white woman in this video, who I don't know who she is, didn't even ask or phrase the question in the caption about black men in general. She was just asking just a general question. But Rachel made sure to insert black men into it. She didn't say any other group of men. She could have just said men and just left it at that. If she would have just did that, I wouldn't even have even made the video. But because she wanted to insert black guys into it, as if black men are just fawning over these white women who look shapely like this woman right here, because now it adds into the stereotype that black men will just go for any old thing, that they don't have any standards. Or let me just put it this way, and forgive me for being vulgar for a second, but we're all adults here: lack of dick discipline, that they will just screw anything. So that's the narrative that she's trying to push right there when I saw what she saw right there. And then of course some people laughed at it. And then of course, there were some black men in particular, of course, that definitely felt some type of way. And they had every right to feel some type of way because they felt insulted. Again, it also says that, or is trying to insinuate that black men don't have any standards when it comes to who they choose to date, especially on the physicality side. And especially when it comes to white women, because they'll always say, oh, well, they'll just go and mess with any type of white woman if they don't want to deal with a black woman. When you really break down what Rachel Wilson was trying to do here, like she was trying to do a divide and conquer type of thing. But thankfully, people checked her on it. I think she even said that she went to the woman's page, and when she went there, she saw some explicit stuff on there, and then she said something to her, and then she blocked her. I'm like, why would you reply to her and then block her? Why didn't you wait for her to respond to see what she was going to say? That was pointless. If you was going to respond to this woman and then end up blocking her, that made absolutely no sense. But then when black men started to confront her, about this post that she made, she then ended up reposting another post. And that was this one right here from this person who goes by the name of Crazy Professor. And it's a picture of a black guy. Now, let me just add on to y'all to this, that just because it's a profile picture of a black person does not mean that this is a black person. We know that there could be some bot accounts out there, especially on Twitter, especially under Elon Musk, that is, where she said, well, she reposted this and it says, send me her handle. I'll be telling her she's beautiful and send $500 just to spite you. And she reposted it and put the hand shrugs emoji. But what was so interesting about it, when people was asking her to show proof of people actually saying things about this woman literally reposted this same post so many times under those type of comments where people were asking her who was responding like that, and it was the same one. She couldn't find any other post of someone saying like something like what this person said, only this one, and she reposted it like 4 or 5 times. So people already knew that something was off just with that alone, if this was the only post that you could come across of this magnitude in response to that particular post about the white woman, and how you said about how black men need to stop bigging up these women or stop telling them that they aren't the shape, the size that they are, and stop lying to them and saying that they're thick. And this is, again, she constantly regurgitated this one post over and over again as if she couldn't find another one. And that's right, because she couldn't. This was the only one that she saw. And for all we know, it could be a bot account. It could be someone that's just, it sounds like someone that's just straight up trolling. But that's the only one she could post, because every time someone confronted her about it, this is the same one that she used over and over. She literally copied and pasted it. So people already knew then that something was kind of off just with that. Furthermore, I went into her bio because, you know, a bio will tell a lot. So this is Rachel Wilson's bio. She says she's a wife, mother, patriarchist, not trad or conservative, author of Occult Feminism, The Secret History of Women's Liberation, out now. And she has a Linktree account where I guess you can go and purchase her book. So that's her bio. I'm telling you, the bio will tell you everything you need to know about an individual. Now, this is a woman right here who says she's a wife and a mother, and she's up here basically saying what black guys need to stop doing. I find that very, very interesting. I wonder what her husband has to say about this. If her husband even knows that she said this. But then again, if he's on Twitter just like she is, he probably does know. So I wanted to end it off with this. And by the way, this is how Rachel Wilson looks. This is her. This is actually a screenshot from a video that she posted up, I think, on her YouTube channel, because I think she has a YouTube channel, back in February. So this is a fairly recent image of her. I'm telling you, she has a lot of room to be talking about anybody, but I'm gonna just leave that right there. The reason why I truly believe that she made that type of comment is probably because no black guy would even make a comment like that about her. So she probably had to fantasize in her head of a black man even saying something about that, even towards another person, in hopes that in her mind it was about her. That's the only way that I can really boil it down to, because what in the world why would you bring or insert black men into a conversation that where they were not needed or warranted? Again, she basically just said that black men have low standards when it comes to women and their dating choices. And if given the opportunity, they will mess with a white woman who's claiming she's thick when she's really beyond that, if you know what I mean. But like I said, look, if you look at her right there, she has a lot of nerve to say anything about anybody and inserting any group of people into anything. Like I said, she didn't just say men as a general thing to relate to any group of men. She specifically said black men. She was literally, she made sure to mention black men. Again, these are the same group of people that said they don't see race, that they don't care about race, that white supremacy isn't a thing, and a host of other things. But again, these are the same people whose ancestors created the social construct that is race back then, and they still use it to this day. Case in point, Rachel Wilson is the perfect example of that.